Hello, and welcome everyone to D6, where I, RCM, bring together several friends from across the internet to play on a D&D live stream show. I will turn this whole fucking stream around. I swear to God, who did it?
Sorry, I have to...
Stop! It's killing.
You kids! I take you all to Knott's Berry Farm, and this is what I get. Anyways, the worst amusement park in California. Anyways, hello and welcome everyone. Before we jump on into tonight, we got a quick few D6 announcements as usual, and then of course our wonderful friends here. First and foremost, if you guys have not heard from any of our recent announcements, I'm just gonna relay this again, as this episode is probably within the lineup of when I'll be gone. So I believe it will probably be the 16th that we will not be having a game. We'll be off for about a week. This is mainly because of scheduling, because I'll be gone for technically 2 weeks, and the last of our backlogs will be out, so by then, all that stuff. But in the meantime, if you are trying to catch up on D6, or if you don't want to go and watch the VODs and prefer to listen to it in podcast form, we are on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, as well as Google Podcasts, for those of you who are interested. And if you want to try and catch any of that, by all means, do go and check us out. It is D6 Black Archives on all of those platforms. And also, I think that's pretty much it. Just podcasts and how could I possibly forget? Desi's back.
Desi!
Hi!
Yeah.
You're back!
Yeah, it just kind of got sucked into a black hole for a little bit there.
Stop talking
Don't worry,
Ragnarok, damn it.
It was it was fatal, but I'll be fine.
Back.
It was
All
one
right.
time.
Anyways, so with that being noted, our friends over at Gamer Subs,
Hell
who
yeah.
has been so kind and so gracious as to continue to support me in all of my endeavors. They haven't sent me anything new yet, but I know that they're releasing brand new cups, and quite recently had sent me the emotional damage flavor, which has been one of my go-to flavors, along with peach tea here.
Peach tea's so good.
Yeah, it's so early in the morning, why wouldn't I want to have my morning tea?
It's honestly the only reason I'm awake sometimes.
Yeah. I'm now sitting at 11sies, so...
We're in afternoon tea over here. Time zones, man. Wild, right?
Yeah,
don't
right?
forget to pour one out for the queen.
For the queen.
I'll pour one
By
out
that,
right
I mean
into my
dump
mouth.
all of it into the harbor.
Oh.
Woo! History's fun.
Woo! I D6, where only you get your most spiciest takes on the queen.
I don't know, I think Twitter has it covered.
Oh yeah. What's it? Irish and Black Twitter.
Irish, Scottish, Black Twitter.
Yeah.
We're all telling them behave. Their answer is absolutely not.
I believe the general census is no.
Gonna
All
have
right.
a fucking rager.
All right, so enough of this madness. I know we're trying to be funny. So yes, thank you, Gamer Subs. If you guys want to get your own Gamer Subs, please do go to gamersubs.gg/shienpai. You'll get 10% off of your order, and yeah, that's about it. Who is ready for some spice?
Here!
I've been ready since...
I love it.
You've been getting the sass since the past few episodes, so of course you're ready.
Yep.
Alright. So, with that being said, let us jump into tonight's episode of D6. There we go. So, where we had last left off. As our adventurers had fled from Nobrick, found themselves deep within the Rythro swamps, finding an ally in hopes to guide them to what is the Cloud Top, facing the dark dangers that had long been legend within the Rythro swamps, finding out that they to be Knucklebs, one of the curses of Igwelf, the Witch Queen. As all of you finally being able to cross a mighty flowing river in order to prevent the hunt from continuing, and thus finding yourselves surrounded by various Farcloud clansmen, you are taken into the Cloud Top in order to speak with the chieftain as you came to relay the information that the Farclouds were about to be attacked. In some disbelief, the chieftain, while giving you clemency and time to sleep, recover, and rest, in hopes that whatever you said might be true, await for Azure's arrival. Having spent a good majority of the day, and with our ally Lohir taking a leave by the call of his blades, Azure arrives, along with Dante and Dagix, with a very concerning look on their face, if not soured and angry. And thus, that is where we had last left off. As all of you begin to rise through this great, mighty tree that stands as the centerpiece for the Farcloud clan, you'll find yourselves huddled within the same room as Dr. Salazar, Bora. You are met with the small group and entrance of Dante, Dagix, Alois Azure, and Citra as they all arrive within what was this apothecary quarters for those who needed rest and healing. And that is where we had last left off.
Well, judging by your faces, more shit happened to you as well.
It's gotten so much worse.
Did you run into the Knucklelift too?
The what?
Remember that demonic horse creature you explained? There's a whole lot of them in this forest.
A whole lot.
We took down one, and then another showed up, and then we ran. Somehow making it here.
Let's just say we managed to avoid that as best we could.
I wish I can say that was the worst end of it.
What do you mean?
Dante's just kind of like gonna bring out his shaky hand, and he's gonna show everyone that the eyeball is still there.
Oh,
He's
still
not dead.
alive. The orange flash on her horns for like a second.
Yeah.
Which means I'm still on the hook.
It also means that you're still alive. And that's what's important.
To be fair, I feel like if Dagix actually still managed to kill him, you would be paying the price right now.
If this person you are after is a practitioner of the arcane arts, it is entirely possible that he has mastered a spell that I am quite looking forward to learning for myself.
Just don't be a jerk like him.
I'd rather you having that power than him.
Yeah.
But that's not the end of it.
Well, we did get separated throughout that chaos. I'm assuming you also ran into a lot of issues, too.
Yes, so... Cal thinks we killed him, even though I know we didn't. So, bad problems. We now all have a bounty on our head of 10,000 gold!
10? Did you say 10?
I said 10, and every EHS member is now under his scope.
There's a slight correction to that.
Oh.
It's not 10 gold, it's 10,000.
Oh. 10,000 gold!
Yep.
So, the EHS is after us, or they're looking at anybody from the EHS?
They're looking at anybody from the EHS because they think the EHS is what killed Grin. Since we are working with them. And I think this is no surprise to anyone else, but Azure has the highest bounty here with 500,000 gold on his head.
And I pride myself on that.
I don't.
Chump change, if you ask me.
Teacher's got a cold sweat going on right now.
What do you want from me?
Yeah. Forgive me for not being too proud of that, given what I'm supposed to be doing back in Excelsium.
So bad news, we're back on the hook like we were in the sand dunes.
Oh, it's really not that big of a deal having a bounty on your head.
It is when you're supposed to represent an entire race that's supposed to, you know, not be so bad and treated like garbage in Excelsium. When you're that poster child.
And the fact that everyone in the organization is now in danger.
Yep.
Ah. Well, that does complicate matters.
Yeah.
It
But
does.
good news! As Dante steps to the side, presenting a new member to the friends.
Huh?
We found Yanuel!
Who?
One of the heads of the 5 houses of the Thalian Cliffs.
As
Does he know how to roll a good blunt?
Haven't tested that yet.
as if almost like hidden for so long and kind of remaining out of eye shot. Excuse me. Gotta moved my notes to the bottom on this one.
Unprepared, 5 points from Gryffindor.
Yeah.
-5.
I've tried to do it good for so long.
Get on the Slytherin level.
Oh, Lord. As approaching... See, grabbing... Yeah. God damn. How the hell did I lose that one? Oh, I do know the race. As approaching, a female elven creature. Almost as if hidden from the shades from behind. Very... as all elves kind of look, very young, female with what looks like to be almost like a not really a bob cut, but it's kind of just like bullish.
Mm-hmm.
The features are not only just elegant, but also you can kind of see somewhat gaunt and drained. The figure stands somewhere around 5'9", 5'10" maybe, and covered in what looks like to be these bright yellow robes that almost kind of shift in color depending on where you look at it. As the eyes are kind of like these golden ambers that sit and slightly shine to the light.
Pretty.
It's a pleasure to meet all of you.
Likewise. Teacher would like bow her head a little bit.
I had not expected to come here due to the circumstances, but given the nature in which Nobrick is under, it would have been pertinent for me to leave.
Okay, how attractive is she?
Oh no.
Make?
God, here we go again.
Got a thing for Alvin women, I
Passive
tell you.
insight tells you. You know what? No, passive insight tells you any elf woman is fucking beautiful.
They're just hot, dude.
Yeah.
Elves.
Rockin'.
Yeah. She's a bit shorter than you, obviously, you being a half-orc man. Her figure kind of entails that there is something that probably maybe beautiful, not just only on the outside, but something mystical on the inside with them. But they're obviously one of the 5 heads of the Thalia Cliff, so
Okay. I'll wait for my chance.
Teacher puts the shoe away. I'm kidding.
Puts the chancla back on.
No, okay,
the fucking chancla.
No, Bro is thinking to himself whether or not he should mac, and Teachers is behind him with her eyes pulled down with a shoe.
Listen, you have pushed Teacher down a different road lately. That's your own fault.
Act like a get the chancla.
Literally.
Yeah.
Thankfully, those shoes are pretty much slippers, so they're not going to hurt you nearly as much, but it will get the point across.
It's like down, Boda, down.
Just the no spray bottle.
Yeah. Anyway. Standing there is, well, vastly interested, but also, like, constantly careful. Dante, I'm relatively sure you have more news, considering you've started it all.
You started it all?
Well, she started telling the news, so might as well let her continue.
True.
Well, there's a war coming.
In my pants.
No, bruh.
As the entire room turns their head.
Wait.
Teacher's just staring at the floor.
He was muttering that to himself. Fuck.
There's a war coming. Bruh.
But
So-
I didn't say anything.
I'm assuming you mean between the Thalia Cliffs and Valenston.
Yes,
Precisely.
exactly.
Precisely.
Bro looks to Dante like, thank you.
So Yanuel here was establishing an underground railroad to get innocents out of the way of what's coming. There's gonna be an attack on Hollow's Grand Port.
How did you find that out?
Well,
I'm the ones that told them. If you wouldn't mind.
continue,
as-
Yanuel.
As Yanuel steps over and kind of presents. In trying to establish underground railroads all throughout Wallenstein, I had received information due to my current ongoing investigation with the Legatus. Had we came across some recent files thanks to our spy Lohir.
Lohir was your spy?
He had assisted us.
Oh.
Taking things that we needed, more specifically the records. I preferred that he kept it quiet.
He's a very interesting fellow.
Well, he was free of his duties not too long ago, which I
Yeah.
deeply appreciate.
He did just leave recently. He was nice enough to get us through the forest.
Well then. Well, I have the unfortunate news to say that Wallenstein, at least the greater Wallenstein, is under suspicion of anyone that disagrees with the war with the Thalia Cliffs, and therefore anyone having any slight dissidence is currently going to be hunted in Greater Wallenstein.
Yeah, if Grin's still alive, he's definitely pulling those strings.
I don't know what they're trying to do, and considering the recent events at the Peace Summit,
And
one
what they're
can
currently
imagine.
looking for.
Yes, one could imagine that they do not have good intentions. So, right now, it's trying to find anybody that might even be of slight disagreements in hopes to get them to the Cliffs of Thalia and give them refuge for the time being. But, as for right now, all 18 legatuses are planning to move out in order to, I would say, unfortunately, proceed with a crusade. Wallenstein will become a war zone once more.
Have any of you heard from the Bastion at any point during this time?
Samael has attempted to communicate with the Bastion. Unfortunately, we have not received any immediate responses. I am assuming that Lord Canis is waiting to see who makes the first move. And since I am alive, by the assistance of Dante and Alois Azure, no less, as well as your friend Dagex, I have this information. I am witness to it. Therefore, the king will have to believe us now, and
So
will have to defend us.
So your end goal is to get to the Bastion. I'm assuming
And-
for now.
Correct.
Unfortunately, we can't send you there quite yet.
No.
This is a very tight and sensitive matter, though.
We're also tied
Yes.
into a tight and sensitive matter right now, too. Which is why we're
Tell-
here.
Let me tell
Yes,
you when
Pet.
I say. Sorry, continue.
Apparently, this time sensitive matter is of greater importance than just a war.
It's tied into it, though. In its own way. Grin is after a very specific item that is also where we're going to and is required of our friend who's currently missing and held captive by a very powerful Fey Witch right now. And we have until the next Red Moon, so... And I imagine if Grin being alive, he's probably going to find his way that way, and we don't want him to gain what he's trying to get that's also there. Because that would probably spell some utter doom for Thalia.
Unfortunately, I prefer to be on some of.
No, I understand, but we specifically this group isn't going back to the Bastion just yet.
When do you have intentions to return?
Yes. If we're even allowed to at this point.
When?
I don't know.
As Eloise steps over, the blood moon will be here in 2 days. In due time. I imagine whatever comes afterwards will settle the matter by then.
So 2 days.
Yep.
Then
Well-
I will stay. I will try and gather whatever resources I can.
Well, that's also if the chieftain lets us stay that long.
I will keep out of the political matters here within Garaithro, as I'm relatively sure they are still skeptical of whom they call countrymen.
Yeah, and I can't really blame them.
Very well. Then I will wait to see what the answer is of this chieftain. But thank you all so very much, as well as you, Dante. I know it must already be hard to be away from home.
At this point, it's really hard to say what is my home at this point. Also, tell Samael he owes me one.
I'm sure he already knows. As she takes a step off to kind of leave the room to your guys' devices, as she is sure there are other matters that need to be handled. As Daggett stands there. Well, all matters aside, looks like we have whatever's coming is going to be coming fast. So what's the plan?
Well, as
We
far
need
as-
to move out.
We have to make our way to the ritual grounds, but I don't know if Azure's gonna make us wait till the blood moon, or if we're gonna go as soon as we can.
I think we should prepare ourselves. We saw what she was capable of on the train. I can't imagine what she's capable of now.
We also have to keep an eye out for Grin, because I can guarantee if he's gonna be there somehow.
I'm sorry to say, but I'm not going in.
What?
Why?
What? Why not?
As Eloise's physician, I would offer that going in would be dangerous for Eloise.
Why? Does he have like some sort of condition?
It's that curse.
It's
Bruh.
the curse.
Yes, the condition that I described when we first met.
But are you at
The-
least going to get us through to it? Because as far as I'm aware, you're the only other one that knows us. You basically built it, didn't you?
I did build it. I did build it, but I'm not going in.
Then
Fine,
how-
is there any information you can give us? Something
Originally,
useful?
the intention was that whatever spells that were put upon it was to prevent at least the ritual grounds from being found by the normal prying eyes. Prevent those who wanted to use its power to use it. However, in light of recent matters, I've realized my failure. And therefore, now I am becoming even more concerned about entering in general.
Well, We all kind of knew, regardless of whether or not you were going, we're probably just walking into one very large trap.
You're most certainly about to enter a large trap. That's no doubt. The whole place is rigged.
Yeah.
As he begins to kind of sit there and think. Unfortunately, I also believe that Agatha may have already won.
What do you mean? The blood moon hasn't come yet.
She has Leodon, which means she must also have the other cardinal clansmen. Which means she already has all their blood.
So what do you suppose we do? Just give up?
We can at least save those lives, but I'm not sure if we'll be able to stop the ritual no matter what we do.
Then we give them hell.
We can make it painful. I just fear what Igwolf will be capable of. With 150 years of sitting on her laurels, I can assure you that she is quite creative.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure we experienced part of her creativity some time ago.
We're at least equipped enough to be able to try and get those that we need to out. But if she gets this ritual done, then what?
We run.
We run, but we run with Leo.
This ritual, what exactly is it meant to do, Alois?
A 150 years ago, some change. I had assisted in sealing away Igwolf for her contribution to the Reign of Blood. My scales were used to bind her. However, her magic was far more powerful, and thus created the 4 curses. And therefore, in hopes that the seal and the container which now bears her soul would continue to suppress whatever she truly is in it. If that seal is broken, the curses will end. But that also means that one of the most powerful and terrifying entities that has ever walked on this star will walk on it again.
Can't be that bad, can it?
Yeah, I can.
Forgive me, Alois. What you've just described is a phylactery.
A what?
A phylactery. A housing for the essence of life. Are you saying that she's a lich?
No. It was a bit less complicated than that.
So.
The form she has as Agatha, as well as the 2 sisters, are parts of her, body and mind. Her soul is what remains within that cauldron sealed away. She's not physically whole, shattered.
So I'm assuming even destroying her sisters and herself, it's not going to really do anything. It just pauses time for her, really.
We'll set her back sometime, yeah.
Well, if we manage to do that, would we have a better chance of stopping the ritual?
No. I don't, at least not in my thought, no.
Then we work to make those chances higher.
The other matter is that I don't think that we're just gonna enter with ease.
No, I can guarantee you we're probably going to see her sisters again, too.
Whatever creatures she decides to summon by her side.
Yeah. I would very much suggest be prepared for that, because the last time we went up against them, I'm fairly certain they tried to polymorph me.
Alright, then we need to find what we need here. What were their resistances again? Or their,
Fire doesn't work. And
Fire doesn't work.
Radiant is effective, but not very effective. Necrotic was very effective, according to Sav. Necrotic. This is when I'm Sav, everything they do is necrotic damage, and she was rather upset with that.
Alright then.
But I can't just automatically switch to Sav. It's complicated.
Alright, we need to find some items here that can deal that kind of damage.
Well, Salazar, you do necrotic damage, right?
What gave it away?
The everything about you.
The everything.
I mean that in the nicest way, I really do. And she's just like holding her hands up like, I'm sorry, I realized how bad that sounded.
Totally understandable.
Well,
My profession of choice is not seen with the most positive of lights in the best of times.
But to be honest, what you did also saved our butts back there too.
Funny thing about that.
I don't know if you know, but like towards that end, I didn't have any spells left in me. If you had gone down, we probably wouldn't have gotten out of there.
Oh, we would have been fine.
No, not really.
We would have been fine.
Well,
That aside, I think it's time that I bring down some of the walls on all this.
What do you mean?
Salazar is in the know, and so is Citra.
Oh, those walls. Okay.
And I will not delay on this matter any further than I already have.
What walls are you actually talking about?
Well, before he does, you also have to... Don't say anything to anyone outside of this group. At all. Like, at all.
fine.
Braun nods.
Dagex is all like, I already know, so...
Yeah, but you're good at keeping secrets.
So what I do? As he kind of just backs away, you see as Alois takes off the glasses and kind of removes the hat over, and you see Dante as well as Burra. These deep, slitted, sapphire blue eyes that almost kind of go endlessly, but they're perfectly cut and shined.
Oh.
What?
Remember that
he's-
curse we were talking about?
No, bro. He's saying bro. That's what he's staring at.
Yeah.
He's a dragon.
Yeah. I only knew because he had gone into that form to help us when you guys were unconscious. That's why the train car you were in was pretty demolished.
Whew, okay. Alright.
In my day, deep within the Underdark, I was known as Saphirus Dracul Rexamante. Or by literal translation, at least from my tongue, the Sapphire Dragon King under the mountain.
Yes, he's a dragon.
Doesn't exactly roll off the tongue as well as Alois Azure.
Bro starts gritting his teeth.
Citra pauses for a second. Wait. No wonder you like the idea of the title of our group.
Wait, what do you mean by that?
The Azure Crest?
Oh.
I think it was cute.
Side note, Citra's
am-
doing her best to be lighthearted in all this crazy.
Broad draws his sword and starts pointing at Alois. You're a dragon.
If not for me, it would not have been for you and your brother to have killed the one that I sent you both to kill.
Wait, what?
What?
So you were responsible?
As a broker of information, yes. Mura, I am a 1,000-year-old being. And when...
To give me...
Windy...
Oh, go ahead.
And when Windia tried to pull the stunt that they did, they needed to be stopped and killed. They had full intentions to not only taking that mountain, but many of the villages down below. And so I told your father where to find them, how to kill them. I expected a full troop to have been sent. They sent 2 children to kill a dragon.
I don't know what's... I don't know what's worse. You basically writing out of your own species or whatever you want to call yourselves, or the fact that you I don't fucking know. I don't fucking know right now. I don't know what's going through my head. I don't know why. I don't know. I knew from the moment we met you were sketchy. But the fact that you're barking right now, you're above that. I am really holding back from, slicing your head right now. What's so funny?
Citra's gonna flinch a little bit at those words, though.
The fact that you think you can kill Eloise.
Mm-hmm. But I have no doubt that you're strong. But 2 factors here. He's a lot stronger than you think. And he has been keeping us alive. He's not our enemy.
And also, I would not allow it.
Fighting
And
against ourselves isn't going to help us right now.
And fourth, this seems more like a fault on your father, quote unquote, than it was on Azure.
As he said, he expected a full-on troop to go after this dragon, not you and your brother. He couldn't have foreseen your father making that decision. He knows information, he doesn't tell the future. As far as I know. Do you?
I do not know the future, unfortunately.
Oh, you bet your bottom dollar that he doesn't.
I do not.
A lot of weird things have happened, so I don't assume.
Ballard stashes his sword.
You're right within your emotions to feel the way you feel, but it's... He's not your enemy.
I still... No, well, I'm sorry. Brog looks at Eloise again. I still don't trust you. He lowers his sword and then grabs a seat.
I have no expectation for a single one of you to trust me.
Well, given what you've done for me so far, that's not too hard for me at this moment.
But it is important to know I have done a lot to prevent the worst outcomes for any of you. I have tried to also keep things in a balance. It wasn't until I realized now is no time for secrets.
No. Citra just kind of rubbing at her temples a little bit.
So, to circle back, there is a reason why I can't go with any of you into the temple.
What is that reason, I may ask?
It's not only because I would be a hindrance in most circumstances, given my current form. I just can't.
Just can't?
You know Agatha very well, so I'd imagine it's hard for you on some level, I guess.
I don't care much for Agatha. I don't care for Igwelf.
Are you afraid of what you'll see if we're too late?
No. I'm afraid of what I might do. Or have to do.
But you're sure we can handle this?
In this circumstances, I would be the weak link. Yes.
You, 1,000-year-old dragon.
Who is currently suffering from a curse of power,
That's
I
true.
might remind you. I don't want to ruin any more needles, if that's alright with Rick.
Citra flinches for like a second. Just
Alright then. We go at it alone again.
I do have something to talk to you about later, though, Azure, when we have time. A lot
Time will
happened
be
on the
made.
run, so
Time will be made.
Yeah.
In the meantime, I think it's pertinent that we finally go see the chieftain.
yeah. Honestly, the only reason he let us stay was because I mentioned you.
As per instructions. Very well. I suppose now is better than ever. Shall we?
We shall.
Citra just kind of looks to Buddha and taps him on the shoulder, like, you good to go?
He just walks forward.
Okay.
As all of you leave the room, and Yana Wells still kind of hanging out and around, constantly keeping an eye on you, Dante.
Samael slip.
Sorry. You all get into this elevation mechanism that had initially brought you here, up to the top. As you find yourself once again on what is this massive flattened top platform built on top of this tree, as the old chieftain continues to stare out into the cloud top. As all of you begin to approach, he turns to see Alois Asher. Good to see you've all returned. As you as well, King.
Dante bows.
Eloise kind of like waves his hand over. As the old druid gets up, to the first sight of those who haven't seen it yet, there is a missing arm and leg replaced by these thick wooded implants that act as brand new limbs, along with this this big heavy beard and just general almost druidic like clothing that emanates from him. I see you're here in order to once again try and assure that the Witch Queen remains sealed. We are once again under the siege of war. Are we not? You even bring a new countryman to the very cloud top which I have spent much of my life defending.
We're not here to cause trouble.
All countrymen say that.
Countrymen say that. Look, we're trying to stop this.
Citra kind of like steps on your foot for a second, like, no. It's like, no.
Behave.
Citra
Scran.
just whispers to Dante, like, shh, just let it go.
This clan has seen enough of its troubles. If you wish to find yourselves within the temple, well, you can certainly try. I won't stop you. But there should be of no expectation for the far clouds to give you anything because we let you walk within our walls.
Our goal
Dante.
is to just get our friend back and along with those clansmen and hopefully stop this ritual. That's it.
Then by all means do as you wish, freely.
Do y'all got any, like, weapons or something, or spells, information?
As I said, do as you wish, freely. As he turns around and he goes back to sit where he usually sits. Yeah, that old coot's been running around for too long to run this place, but at least he's solid in his motives.
Yep. This is essentially what we were met with when we got here, too.
Peachy.
I kind of understand. Also kind of used to it. But anyway,
As the night begins to fall, however, the moon slowly rising into the sky, there is a somewhat brisk air change from what is the usual humid warms to almost like a spiking cold almost begin to emanate here. No words left to say.
What?
As all of you turn, and on the other side of this platform, as Agatha stands.
Oh, fuck.
oh boy. Wait, you're not really here.
Like I would ever put myself at risk.
Yep.
Of course.
As the old druid looks back. You gone, witch? We've caused enough trouble. I am not done yet, I can assure you that. Beginning to step towards all of you. There's quite a bit of distance between this one side of the tree to the other.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so none of you can really rush this. So, I am relatively sure all of you are thinking at this very moment, how can you stop me?
What gave that away?
No, it's always on the minds of people who consider themselves to be heroes.
Not what we think ourselves of, but good. Okay.
I wonder... Will you try and make your way to the temple? Will you seek out Imperia? Will you try and convince the Far Clouds in order to act as, well, body bags in a battlefield? And I'm even more curious as to you, Azure. As she steps closer, I wonder how you would react to the notion of finally tearing down these old walls. And see him sour-faced and unmoved. Oh, speaking of walls. She turns towards the giant trees. Where I am right now, not here, but as I sit upon the very fragments of aetherological magic that flow deep within this mountain, I wonder what it would take to draw upon it. She points towards one of the trees. And you can see the big seals that had created and been used to act as defense beginning to burn and flare onto the trees. I've thought about this for so long. As the seal begins to burn out of one of the trees, it fades. You can begin to hear some slight panic. As Alois steps over, stop. There is no need for any more of this bloodshed. Oh, I bet for you. For all of you. You see, as I said, these old walls need to be torn down. I am done playing nice with the far clouds. I am done with all of you. And I will not risk the chance of any more madness of all of you trying to stop me. Alois, you had your chance. 165 years of chances to change your mind. And now, I'm doing it myself. She points towards one of the other trees, and you begin to see the seals upon them beginning to flare up.
Does it seem like she's casting magic or a spell at this point?
Oh no. There is something different here. It's almost as if there is a control of a magical flow deep within the earth. Especially you as a mage, you can get the sense of feeling almost as if the shifted temperature is an indication that the magical flow, especially where one of the arcane ley lines runs deep within the cloud top, as well as the sealed temple that is created for the far clouds. And it's almost as if it's pulling the magic out of these large, towering trees that act as these walls to protect themselves from the outside. You can get a feeling that, especially with your Arcana passively, where she's probably at is at the dead center of the temple, and controlling the magical flow from the temple out into the far cloud or the cloud top. Far clouds have lived for too long. Wouldn't you agree?
No.
Stop this.
What?
I feel like this is more entertaining for me than it is for any of you.
No, what makes you say that?
Stop this!
Jade, you're cutting out.
Yeah, Jade,
Oh,
you're cutting
sorry.
out hard.
Sorry. Stop this!
Why? It was the fog clouds that did this to me. I hope you understand. This is within reason. As she points towards one of the other trees, and you see the seal begin to... 165 years. And my beloved sat there, staring at me as my soul was ripped into a cauldron.
Beloved?
As she's
you
pointing
had a
towards...
boyfriend?
She's pointing at Alois. And then my beloved family, I have fled the Feywild with, would contribute. Because I showed humanity what it really wanted. Its own destruction. And I gave it to them. Because they needed to learn a lesson. I was tired. I was sick of it. There was so many death of the Far Clouds on their hand. Far Cloud blood on countrymen hands. And when I went and proved to them that we were tired of being nice, I was punished. See, as Alois is still stoically trying to stare her down in hopes to not instigate this any further. And so I remained shattered. Do you know what it's like living like this? It feels like I'm walking on ice, and at any moment I could fall right through. There are days where I don't even remember what I've done. There are days where I feel like I have all the power in the world and none of it at all. So is it so wrong of me to assume that just punishment for the Far Clouds, as well as you, Alois, for my imprisonment, wrongfully imprisoned, that you get what's coming to all of you?
Well, on that note, we'll be seeing you very soon, Agatha.
I don't count on it. By tomorrow's nightfall, I will make sure that this entire city is burned to the ground. I will have every Far Cloud living here screaming in their blood. All the while, I will sit behind the locked gates as per intention. Pray to whatever god you feel like. I'm sure they won't be listening. As she waves her hand, you see the rest of the seals of the trees begin to burn away. And you can see, as like any fire that reaches up close towards any trees, you begin to see them wither and burn and then die away. I send my beasts the regards of a good hunt. Before turning and the illusion beginning to shift away like a mirage.
We have to move now.
We may have to move fast. Does anybody know where Yanuel is?
They're still down below.
Would she be able to help these people get out?
She already has railways or underground railroads intact. Maybe she can get a majority of people out.
But how close are they to here?
I don't know. I have to double check with her.
We wouldn't have found this place without Azure's help, so...
You're all forgetting one thing. She just mentioned that the gates are locked.
Yeah.
We're not getting in.
Or are we?
Salazar, I hope you have an answer to this one. With that
Well,
tone.
you know me.
Does it involve skeletons? Does it involve skeletons?
It does not involve skeletons.
Down.
Not directly. However, there are ways, magically, to get into places that you don't necessarily belong.
Alright, then we're gonna need you for this, huh?
Yeah.
Alois, is this gate somehow magically sealed?
For the most part, it was designed that way, yes. However, it was also with the assistance of an old friend.
An old friend?
An old friend?
Imperia.
Who's that?
A demigod of the Four Winds. Usually, nature is controlled by, of course, Melora, but in order to, well, subsidize certain characteristics, she had created some of her own smaller demigods in order to assist. Imperia was one of them.
I'm assuming they're not a very easy person to get a hold of.
They're very thoughtless, God. Let's just say that. They're much like the winds.
Well, we only got like one day to find them.
There has to be a way we can we can do this.
I think what I have in mind might work.
Oh yeah, you still haven't explained that
By
yet.
our lonesome?
I have recently come into a great deal of more power. It seems the magic pervading this land agrees with me.
Oh?
Chick agreeing with you. What are you talking about?
I've acquired another tier of spell. One in particular allows me to get into places that are not necessarily where people like me should be going.
The ladies'
What's-
And I
bathroom.
can bring people with me as
The
well.
ladies'
What's-
bathroom.
And Citra does bap him with the stick.
Ow!
Boom.
Crack!
All right.
Yeah,
Well,
that's ivory and steel.
Yes, I believe the spell Pass Wall is what we need.
Pass wall?
all right.
A spell that I just so happen to know.
All right.
Yeah, that's
You might
not
just
within
have
my
to
book
take-
of spells.
We might just have to take the risk on this one. Because
The
the
more
main
ti-
focus right now is getting everyone out of here.
Yeah, and the more time we have, the better.
More time we have, the better. All right, Chieftain. Time to shove out.
You can see as he stands there, looking at all of you. No. No.
Why no?
We've faced this matter before. We've faced it many a times over these centuries. Come countrymen, come witch queen. This is the last time the far clouds shall run.
So are you saying you're standing with us?
I think he's saying they're going down with the ship.
Well, speak for yourself. I'm taking whoever wants to go.
Do you think more far clouds can handle something like this? Become a part of Wallenstadt, as always their intention? Do you think these creatures, these people, hundreds of years old, would agree with you? This was their home. This was their life. Anything beyond it would be an impossible thought. Disagree with me, young one, as much as you wish, but the truth is there. The far
Well,
clouds will stand their ground. One last time.
Well, if your innocents need it, there's underground railways leading to the cliffs of Thalia. I'm not asking them to stay there. I'm asking them to wait until we can get this solved, till I can fix this, till we could possibly save the Rythro.
Until it's safe.
I will relay to Saru whoever wishes to leave the grounds to do so. But just know, heading to the cliffs they will face the treacherous journey as well as the haunts.
That's right. The Knucklehead.
To either safer together or at danger apart. Do you see why we lose? No matter where we go, no matter what we do, the far clouds have always been entrenched in war, and we will stand for it no longer.
Then will you help?
I don't think bringing any of them to Agatha is going to do any good, Dante.
With the walls down, the Knuckleheads will make their way here. And we will defend ourselves.
Fine. Once again, we're doing this ourselves.
Yep.
Alright. Well, we'll take whatever supplies you're willing to spare. We shove off in an hour.
I'd like to see how you think you're going to be able to get in.
We'll find a way. We usually do.
We got Salazar.
You place a lot of faith in me, Eloise.
You've done that before, haven't you?
Dante's gonna start making his way down the tree in search of Yanuel.
Alright.
Faith.
You can see the thought of Faith kind of disturbs him. But as all of you descend, leaving the chieftain to his own devices, you all find a still somewhat curiously looking Yanuel staring at this giant tree, or at least the inside of it. For seeing all of you coming down and realizing that the situation has definitely changed. I am assuming that things went bad.
Considering that Agatha's taking down the walls currently, and the Knucklehead will be headed this way very soon, yeah.
Yanuel, I'm gonna have to ask her a favor.
That depends on what kind of favor you are asking.
I'm asking you to run. And I'm asking you to take whoever's willing to go.
Dante, at the same time, we're surrounded by Knucklehead.
If you've got those railways that come out to here, take as many as you can.
Your tiefling friend might have a point, though.
You're not gonna outrun them. The only chance we had is that we happened upon running fresh water and it just stopped it in its tracks. For the time being.
Running fresh water?
Yeah. It wouldn't go near it.
There are very few running rivers that go through the swamps. Most of it is sitting water.
No, this was a running river.
Well, that's what I mean. There are very few.
Yeah.
Perhaps another way.
What other way?
This mighty tree acts as, base.
Yeah, for the most part.
Well, if by the case of that, we can gather as many of the clansmen deep within the center and then put them atop here in hopes that it will delay the inevitable, but delay is always a good notion.
Yeah.
And
My only concern
also-
is if she's able to probably set this one also on fire, you just have a giant tower of death.
I'm relatively sure that there are more than enough druids and rangers that can deal with this matter.
Yeah.
As long as they have arrows raining down for as long as they possibly can, but seems like Agatha has given you enough time.
Yeah.
If that is correct.
Right then.
She also
We
seemed
move.
a little perturbed at the idea of us showing up anyway. Like, there is a chance and she just doesn't want to give it to us, kind of deal. Most of the time, correct me if I'm wrong, usually they're happy to mess with us. This seems more caution.
They might know that there could be potentially a weak spot.
Yeah.
Reflect on what she might have said.
She put
Usually when the enemy wishes to speak highly of themselves, they make mistakes.
She mentioned Imperia, that the gates were locked, and by tomorrow night, basically time runs out. Meaning, I have a feeling, obviously, the four cardinal clansmen are still alive. Even though Azure has not a lot of hope in us to stop this ritual, we might be able to. She wants us to
Right.
focus on everything else going on, rather than her.
That means she doesn't have until tomorrow. That if we come today, that
No.
she might be screwed.
Yeah, and we did do damage to her last time pretty well.
How close was that river, by the way?
How far
It
did
wa-
we run?
It was about a day's travel out from that river. There are very few flowing rivers.
Damn.
Yeah, we're kind of sans fresh flowing river right now.
All right, then. So
I
she's
think you
hoping that
might
we don't
have
come
it.
till tomorrow.
I think you might have it wrong.
What do you mean?
What do you mean?
The blood moon, in many instances, is known as the witch's moon.
Yeah.
It is a single night where some of the most powerful spellcasters are at their peak. Some, like yourselves,
Become stronger. As
Well,
he
my
looks back
s-
to Salazar and Citra.
My
She's
magic
giving her
didn't do anything really to her.
well, considering she's giving herself a day, she's preparing for the onslaught of tomorrow. You're
So-
not breaking through that wall tonight.
But
Well,
Breaking
probably
through it
tomorrow.
tomorrow.
in the meantime, we help these people prepare themselves. They may not trust us, but with the threat that's coming to them, they'll probably listen just purely out of self-preservation.
As Aloy steps forward,
I'm relatively sure they'll listen to me.
So you'll at least help with that, I hope.
And that
well,
will give us time.
I understand why you're not going. And I'm sorry for judging you a minute ago.
it is of no worry at all.
All right, so we help these people.
Yeah, I just need a moment to I need to reset my head a little bit. I'm barely holding on right now.
Okay.
Tis good. Well then, I will try and instruct whoever I can. I am in fact one of the Cliffs of Thalia's generals, so my battle plans should be sufficient enough, at least as impromptu as this is.
I appreciate your help. We all do.
Just expect Samael to expect something back. I know he owes you something, but I am away long enough to cause problems.
And that's Samael now.
Perhaps I can try and commune with him at some point. As far as I am aware, he has intentions at Hallowsgrad. Gather. Sit upon it. Think about it for the night. And hopefully we'll come to a conclusion in the morning. In the meantime, whatever orders need to get put out needs to be put out, specifically for arrows and blades.
You are gonna need magical weapons, Dante.
Alright.
At least your arrows. Or a blade.
I might have something for that.
Oh?
Oh?
She's very, if it's a regular weapon, she pretty much just flicks it away.
Dante, we will speak privately.
Have fun, buddy.
Alright.
So as all of you begin to consider plans for the night tomorrow, all of you attempt to try and get any sleep. We're gonna go ahead and take a quick 10-minute break.
Boop.
And then we will return. Alright. All of you are getting ready.
Ah.
Alright. So with that said, we're gonna go ahead, take a quick 10-minute break. Lots of planning to be made. But until then, see you guys when we get back. Bye. we are back.
We're back.
Everything is awful.
Alright. So, with that being said, picking up where we had last left off, is you guys are sent to rest for the night, to prepare for what is a oncoming storm. You all have things that need to be done. And thus, I will go ahead. Alright. So. As the night proceeds, and Dante, you finally having some private time away from everyone with Jan Noel. As you stare into what looks like to be an open balcony that leads out from a hallway, staring at the rest of what is a calming Farcloud clan beginning to hear the cries and the tellings of what is to come. These people have faced war before, have faced many threats to their home. You begin to see that people are beginning to move. You hear the pangs of metal, the younglings beginning to move around. As Yanoel stands to the side looking down. I have often thought about where the second son had gone, as there was never a body to be found.
I didn't.
Dante,
Yes, now, yeah, Noel.
having known what you know now, do you approve of Samael?
I still don't know. But I feel like he's less of a liar than I thought he was before.
He was not always this way. It wasn't until the last winter solstice that he truly began to change. He was strong, he was smart, and he fought his battles. He kept the Great Wallenstein at bay, and even at one point challenged the legatus to end bloodshed. However, his shift in demeanor has become so vast. At some points he comes off as meek, others a true politician, and then a vile creature.
I think when I first heard about who he was, I think the version of him I got was the vile creature. Even now I'm still trying to undo what was done in Valistan that he caused. But I think I have a little bit more insight now of why he did it.
That this is war?
That this is war.
I have lived for over 200 years. I was one of the first who saw the rain of blood. And when I decided that we would take our home down to the south to protect ourselves straight, in hopes that Tiamat would never come to our shores. I would thank those great heroes that protected us so long ago. But my duties have always remained to my home, my country, to my people. As she pulls aside the large yellow robe and almost grasping at what looks like to be this sheath that has a split down the middle, leading up to a blade handle. I am not of faith like you. I understand what it means greatly to your family. What the Moon Goddess had done for all of you. This was a gift from your father, so long ago. I believe it should be rightfully in the hands of an Ishgari once more.
Why me instead of Samael then?
Samael has his weapons. He has his armor, his blade, his ferocity. But he is not a leader.
Wait, you can't be saying that I'm a leader.
Some would consider some warriors to be great leaders. But Samael has abandoned so many things to get where he is today.
I don't know what to say. I mean, I don't know if you've seen, but I fucked up so much in this past couple months.
Failings, as we all do. Even us elves are prone to them. Come the day that you have to decide whether or not it will be us or them, who will you protect? And why would you protect them? Because that will decide if whether or not you are a true leader.
Alright.
She extends the blade out towards you.
Dante takes it gingerly. What does it look like?
Well, go ahead and add to your equipment list Waning Moon.
Waning Moon. Okay, equipment, where the hell are you? Let's see. Waning Moon. Oh, hello, a longbow. Alright, the Ishgari family heirloom made from a feather of one of the goddesses Devas. Made for a warrior of the moon. This gifted blade has a hinge system in it in its guard that splits the prolonged swords into a magical longbow that is with a glowing bowstring as bright as the moon's surface.
You got a shiny?
I have got a transforming sword longbow combo.
Ooh.
Damn.
One made for a paladin and a rogue.
Woo!
Spicy.
Wow.
Oh.
This is an incredible piece of weaponry.
Your father had carried it everywhere with him. After you boys were born, it wasn't until he decided to pass it on, decided to use his words as his weapon instead of a blade. As she puts a hand on your shoulder, Virgil will be proud.
Wait, hold up.
You cut out, Jade.
Wait, hold up. My hawk?
No, your father, Virgil.
No, my hawk's name is Virgil.
Uh-oh.
Oh, are you...
Ooh.
Dante just kind of like looking in disbelief, looking down at his moonstone. Are you saying... Are you saying my father's been here all along?
I wouldn't know. Seems like a discussion with their goddess. She pats your shoulder and proceeds back into the tree. As you're left with more answers than questions.
You mean more questions than answers?
Maybe.
Shit.
Damn.
Who knows?
That's sad. Citra,
Yes.
as you find yourself meditating, Adagax asks for your presence.
I'm assuming he's there with her then.
Yeah.
So she'd stop the flute and shake it off. And... You needed to see me?
Yes. I wanted to see how your training was going so far. You learned anything?
A little bit. Why?
Because I think at this point you need a lesson.
A lesson.
A lesson. Yes. You're about to face one of the most powerful spellcasters that had ever existed in this land, so let's say for the sake of time, we'll make it quick.
Okay, I will trust your judgment on that. She'll stand up from where she was sitting.
Tell me, do you like the concept of being able to move freely as much as you do?
Yeah, actually, I do.
Good. As he takes you out to the round of one of the lower areas within the tree with what is a very large balcony that makes it all the way around. I want you to run from this point and be back here within a minute.
In a minute.
In a minute.
Full circle.
Yep. Speed is one of the most desperately necessary things to what we are capable of.
Yeah.
Besides, I think you have a light enough frame to do it. 1 minute.
Okay.
As he leans back and he watches you try and take place. Now. And I need you to make me a dexterity check.
Just a check, okay. I always keep trying to click the save. I'm like, no, different button. Of course, there it is. I'm still under that curse.
As you sprint full dash, as you try and make your way around, you begin to run in full speed. At a certain point, you begin to see the bright lights and the flames that are the Farcloud clan and homes, as you see that they are preparing to defend their home once again. But at a certain point, you just feel like the air cannot enter your lungs enough before you begin to slow down. And by the time you make it back to Dagex, a minute and a half has passed.
Yeah, and she's just like holding onto her knees, just...
Nope.
Nope.
Do it again.
Fine. And she shakes it off, lets her lungs recover for a second, and then we're gonna try again. Same thing?
Yep.
14.
Alright. You get in position, you try and get the air back into your lungs once more as you burst running again. Full speed, nothing stopping you. You feel your legs almost as if they're trying to get lighter, but there is always a weight. Before, once again, coming back around, a minute 15 has passed. How badly do you want this?
More than anything right now. It's what's in my control.
And then he's gonna step towards you. I'm going to give you every single shadow of a doubt. Because if you don't come back in 1 minute, I will not be here.
She just kind of squints at him, just like, the hell? Alright, fine.
1 minute, or else I'm gone.
Alright, she's gonna rely on her guidance here a little bit. Let's try this again. And that one. I'm just cursed today. Doesn't matter.
I'm going to say with motivation. Roll with advantage.
Okay. Oh, there's the nat 20.
Ooh.
Alrighty. As you sprint, you feel something kicking in from under your legs. Almost as if the air is nothing. There's no friction. You feel lighter than ever. Almost as if you have something pushing you behind. As you return, 55 seconds have passed.
She's like sliding on the balls of her feet a minute to stop herself. It's like, ah.
That is going to be your most useful tool. Speed. Dexterity. Nothing can catch you. This isn't just something that rogues use. At the very core of what we do. Monks need to be light on their feet too. He taps your shoulder. Lesson complete.
Thanks.
as he walks away, you feel your mobile feet definitely kicking in right now.
50 feet of speed, baby.
Alrighty. With that, Bora, where are you right now?
Smoking a blunt. Well, actually, no. He's trying to follow the elf lady from before.
Alright.
Oh my god.
Make...
Bless your heart.
50 speed of movement. Do I go attack him? I'm kidding.
just... as you kind of try and look around for Yanuel, make an investigation.
Oh boy.
Oh boy, here we go.
Yeah, make me an investigation check.
12.
It's a big fucking place. It takes you some time as you're kind of like looking around through the night. But eventually you do find her. As she is currently speaking with some of the Far Cloud clansmen, trying to organize a way to get everyone to the top of this tree as soon as possible before they leave, and she is left alone.
Oh boy.
What am I gonna do? No. He was about to step in, but then he realizes, is this really the right time? No, I don't think that is the right time. I'll make my moves after this. So he heads back to the group.
Alright. Anything in particular you would like to investigate?
Rating. What?
Yeah, I was gonna say Cetra's probably still running now that she's getting the hang
yeah.
of it.
Wait,
so.
wait. Oh, wait. Does he hear Citra? Yeah. Does he hear Citra?
You see down below several floors from you what has been an ended conversation between her and Dagex, and she looks like she is tired.
Oh, okay. I should really not do this. Sleep deprived Citra means...
She's not sleep deprived, she's just tired because she's been running much faster than one should.
Well, okay. I tell you, Citra means... angry Citra.
No, not really.
Yeah. Yes, really. Yes, really. Probably does.
It's his headcanon, don't worry.
That is true.
Alright. I maybe later. Right now I should just prepare for this, Leo. Get Leo back at least. Okay. Let me just head back to the group now.
Alright. As you begin to head back, you get a faint feeling deep within, and almost as if there's this slight calm as you are finding yourself back into the room.
You
And
said
then-
like calm?
A slight calm. And then there is this... almost this moment, this passing moment, as if seeing one of the far clouds walking past, you see your brother in the crowd before shifting your eyes and he's no longer there.
Blur? Nah, no way. No way. Could it? No. Out of curiosity, bro walks to the case where he saw his brother.
You walk past.
Last saw his brother. Sorry, last saw his brother.
Yeah. As you walk past these far clouds, he's just not there. But there is that feeling that knowing the battle is coming. This is what you always would do. You would see each other. You would commune with each other. You would drink. You would smoke. You would do basically pre-gaming. And then you would steel yourselves, ready to use all your might for a fight that will come one day. And the memory is still there, but the person is now gone. As you stand there wearing his armor, there's some solitude, but also a deep-seated rage. Almost as if when the time comes, you will be ready to lash out. You hold on to that memory. At one point, you'll be able to go frenzy as a barbarian.
Yep.
Woo!
Alright. Now, Salazar. As you sit in private with Alois, there are certain matters that is of concern. Magic to end.
Well, spit it out, Alois.
The concept of using magic to get beyond the doors is interesting in theory. I fear what it might actually be in practice.
What makes you say that?
My initial thoughts, when I could only consider what happened at the Peace Summit, the summoning of so many demons. Something had to facilitate that. So I first thought about the ritual sites. I wasn't wrong when I found out that's what happened, but now something else concerns me. Agatha is barricading herself. So I'm wondering if it will even work. She's the one that let them in. She will probably keep everyone else out.
Tell me, what sort of magic is protecting this gate? Which was a concern about. You mentioned a demigod helped you build it.
Imperia. Not too old, but certainly was born around my time. She was considered to be the mother of rocks, the titans of the sky. And therefore, whenever the wind would take her, is where she would go. Her only blessing to the world was to the 4 cardinal clansmen. And so, that was how they were able to get in and out through those temples at the time, and how the rules were set for this magic. Imperia created the initial seal, which I'd imagine if we managed to at least have them could probably tear down whatever Agatha has planned. But we don't have time to wish upon a star, I suppose.
There's never really one for relying on wishes or faith. Practical problems require practical answers, Eloise. You know that.
Well unaware.
And so you're telling me that you're not sure if a dimension door or a pass wall would even suffice to break through this gate?
No. It's going to need something bigger.
And what are you suggesting?
I'm not going inside the temple, you know this.
Of course I know that.
That doesn't mean that I won't open it. You know what that entails.
And you're sure?
They'll have to fight that fight. But I'm going to need you here. They're going to need Leo. I'll get them in.
Very well.
I'll get them in.
And in the meantime, you want me here to defend the cloud top?
No. I need you by my side in order to handle what is going to happen.
Patting his chest a bit.
You know my money's always good.
Yes, I know. I know your word is just as good. And I'm thinking I've already extracted enough money from you. I think it's time for a favor.
I always assumed this would come. Paid in full, whenever you desire.
How attached are you to this Agatha?
She wasn't Agatha when I first knew her. Her name was Tasha. First person I'd ever make the mistake of falling in love with. And now I see that my mistakes, my past has finally caught up. And for all these people, for those three who are just looking to finally have peace, all I did was just rope them in to solve my problems.
As you are wont to do.
That's actually Aaron.
Well, quit it!
Sorry. Let's try.
Could believe this.
I don't want them to deal with this forever. The Black Archives is one of my most important works.
Ah, yes. Mopping up all the names of your little black book. Tell me something, Alois. Is my name in there?
Stares at you longingly.
No. But I would never consider you would find yourself as one.
Good to know. I assume you don't mind my usual methods, then, helping this pet project of yours. And keeping your ex from destroying the world.
I would not mind that, no.
Good. Very good.
Another matter of concern, though.
Yes.
I have long since suspected one of our enemies to practice deep into necromancy. Damien Cross was just the beginning. You know of any gods, demons that practice in the undead? To be concerned about, at least in this moment.
Well, I'm sure you know how it went with my people when we tried to resurrect our god. It ended badly. Very badly.
I am aware.
Not much one for gods, Alois. I prefer to reach the limits of mortal kind. If there are any gods of undeath out there, Would I make a religion check in this case?
Yeah.
9.
I mean, there was quite a number of them. I mean, there is the goddess of death itself, which is the Raven Queen, but she would never dabble in the concept of using necromancy in malicious form. There would have been Orcus on many different occasions, as he's well and connected with the history of this land, and a known god, but long since turned whispers, Vecna, who was the one that brought the downfall of the Lumerian kingdom. Like, it's not like distant knowledge, especially for you as a necromancer. DC's relatively low about this kind of understanding.
Well, there's the Matron of Ravens, although not necessarily would look kindly on my particular flavor of necromantic magic.
I wouldn't expect her to.
Orcus is the father of all necromancers. Wouldn't be surprised if the demon lord of undeath were out and about with machinations and such. And then there is the whispered one.
That is very old history. I do know of a lich that needs to be talked to.
He sort of grips his right arm and shudders.
However, Saladin has long since been a hermit. There are too many strings to pull out here. We need to start narrowing our options.
If that is the path we wish to go down,
I'll be looking for your assistance in the future about this matter. And of course, all favors paid in full.
my usual rate.
I'm sure there's some ancient magics.
Very well.
Sure, there might be some ancient magics you'd be interested in.
The elusive... what was his name? Grin Nodriv seemed to have utilized a particularly powerful necromantic spell in this case, one that I am quite interested in myself.
He is not without an ally, though, which I believe is the true necromancer in this situation.
Ah. He grips his arm even harder. We'll have to exchange notes.
Very much. As the scene kind of pulls out from the darkness, all of you find yourselves resting through the night.
Well, Seacher would still want to talk to Azure at some point.
And there's still one more thing
Okay.
I'm going to try before going to sleep tonight.
Alright. As the night continues and all of you begin to find yourselves finalizing your efforts, Dante, is there anything else you would like to do?
So, two things. I'm going to try to communicate to the goddess, since the moon is close to full now. What was the name of that demigod we were trying to get in contact with?
Imperia?
Imperia, got it.
Let's see. As you try and find yourself in the widest open spaces you can, you proceed to look out towards the moon. You begin to find yourself within faith. As you begin to shut your eyes and begin to pray, basking in the moonlight, you find yourself tempted by these giant open fields, and ever closer to that mountain once more, as you now stand somewhere in the middle of it, still staring at what looks like to be this structure that looks like an eye with the moon at its center. Always staring at you, looking down towards you. And ever so frequently do you constantly see this shadow. Almost as if moving around and hiding away.
Can I do a perception on that?
Sure.
Okay. I have a feeling I know what it is, but... Damn, a 10? Alright, then Dante will still be out of the know for that one. He's gonna look back to the moon. Goddess, I'm gonna need your help once more. These people are in danger. And we are split in so many different directions. If there's any way you could somehow communicate to... Shit, what's her name again?
Imperia.
Imperia. If there's any way she can come within the day, I think that's all I can ask for. From the way they make it sound, she's one of our last hopes right now.
As, like any mountain, you can hear the sounds of the winds as they come down in waves. As the eye stares ever closer, you see as it begins to slightly shift in color. It turns again blood red. You can hear this faint growls and roars of something deep within the forest here before all the wind stops and it is dead silent.
I guess not all things are possible.
It isn't until long you hear faint flapping of wings. Almost as if the sound of beating waves of air. For atop that eyeball you see what looks like to be this glowing, massive creature. As the wings spread out far, you know just by distance this creature is a titan. And as the wings beat, you hear a rush of wind coming down towards you. As it hits you, you are thrown off of your feet. And as you hit the ground, you wake up. You find yourself back at the cloud top. Confused, but almost as if something has been called.
Okay. Okay. Alright. One more thing then. Alright, are there any animals around right now?
I mean, for the cloud top, there are giant owls that are used, giant owls and eagles that are used to ride on their back for transport. There are plenty around here, probably being well hidden, or you can see them being moved to the top of the center tree.
Okay. Is any of them big enough to carry water? A bucket of sorts.
I mean, generally, any creature can carry something like that, depending on depending on its fly speed, because it would be considered encumbered. But yeah, these big birds don't follow your command. They follow more of the far clouds.
Ah, okay. Are there any just random animals that are just within the forest itself?
Not that you would want to be going down right now, because y'all are trying to get to sleep.
Okay.
And there's a lot of moving people using the same mode of transportation to get towards the top.
Okay. All right, then. I will skip on that plan, then, since it seems like one of my plans might be going through. So before I go to sleep, I will do my hand gesture of raising my hands open to thank the boon goddess for her time. And I'll look at my moonstone, or Dante will look at his moonstone, and he wants to summon Virgil, but he's not certain if he wants to face the information that he just came across quite yet. As he just puts his hand over it.
Very well. Citra,
Yep.
as you find yourself in a room with Alois and Salazar, as they conclude on their conundrums, the doctor takes his leave to go and rest for the night. And you can see as he's sitting there in the corner chair, just constantly thinking.
She'd kind of just tap his shoulder. Can I talk to you for a minute?
Yes. So sorry.
No, it's okay. You've got a lot going on too. You remember talking to me about Sav and whatnot before we left, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, Sav actually spoke to me last night. And, I'm starting to put together the pieces of that trauma. But I also might have information that you may not have known. Because I learned something from my parents before we left after the summit. And if we make it out of this alive, I figured you'd probably be the right person to have this information to... if gonna need it later, maybe. On the more important side of things, I do know, with the pieces I've been given, where my lineage comes from, that you may not. My father is bloodline to Erithus. And then, when we met Hepsel, and she stopped, she almost mentioned the other name. She's like, no, don't mention that name. You were both in that desert many years ago. My mother mentioned that my grandmother had met a very, very blue tiefling around that time. And she was within that group of bards that I know of that basically hide that secret about that treasure you've been looking for. I don't know about it, so don't ask me.
The Tomb of Amun-Ra.
Yeah. She explained to me that my grandmother fell very much in love with an all-blue, very, very, very pretty tiefling. And then, not too long after, just disappeared, and thus my mother. And Hepsel seems to know a lot about my father's last name. I'm starting to believe that Hepsel is that blue tiefling. He seemed a little too interested in what I had to say.
Hepsel was a very fervent creature when I first met him. Very few can ever claim the glory of being a friend with the devil.
Glory?
Some would consider if you manage to be on their good side, you'll see a lot more boons than you would see punishment.
Well, currently I'm pretty sure we're not on his very happy list, so...
Well, there was one person that poked that bear. I imagine his ire can only be directed towards at least one of you. Nephilim. If what you believe is to be true, and
Given
trust
that
you
I'm a
me,
Nephilim. She did whisper that last bit, but,
Yeah. If I am to believe what you say is true, it wouldn't be too far-fetched.
I figured...
However, it is to note that the Idlewind name is well known. Probably not to you, but definitely to your father.
Probably. It just...
Considering... Let's just say that the current Church of Aerithus deep within the Celsium is was not too fervent on the changing of the laws.
No. Which brings me back to the other half of those things. The closer and I get to working together rather than against each other, the more I'm starting to see of my past that I can't seem to get through to currently. Sav is that wall keeping me somewhat put together. Sav was born that night when apparently there was now 2 attempts on my life that I have found out. Sav showed me a memory of when I was 5. That these men broke into my home and I guess was there to try and kill me. And thus Sav was born, and yes, even at 5 was incredibly violent. And from there my memory fades because I have a feeling my parents had done something to lock him away. I have to be this poster child for a Celsium to help change these laws, which I'm sure you know is a little, hard.
Citra, I have spent 300 years on this surface. Anytime someone ever is trying to be something they're not, or try to be something that somebody tells them to be, it never ends well.
No.
I'm sure for the Idlewinds, when they thought your father was going to be their champion of law, he severely disappointed them too.
Yep.
And he decided to be the better man.
He is. As far as my memory of him, and even though Sav doesn't trust him, but I get why not.
I'm sure your parents were just scared.
Yeah.
As he gets up from the chair and he walks around and he looks out towards the window. All parents want one thing: to make sure that their child grows up happy and healthy. And even fear can cause them to do things that might be for the betterment of their child, but it may not always be the best in the long run. Looking back towards you. Trust me. You make the decision on who you decide to be. I think what we're all scared of is us turning out to be the worst part of ourselves.
Yeah. For a while, I kept believing I was a monster. Ironically, with Agatha's help, I'm getting past that. I think she meant to do more harm, but she actually helped in some weird way.
She was always like that.
She was trying to use the other memory I actually have of when I was attacked more as an adult to turn my friends against me. Didn't work out. But what she did do is starting to repair that connection I have with Suf.
So he steps towards you and he just puts a hand on your shoulder.
And at least there is actual work being done.
Yeah. I figured you would like to know where this came from, since information seems to be what you enjoy.
Always.
And I figured I owed you that much after what you told me.
It's well and appreciated, Citra. But, in due time, I hope that the decisions you tend to make will be for the best.
I just have one question.
What's that?
If what I assume to be is true about what would be my grandfather, how much trouble am I actually in?
Hepsel values very little in this world, and even in his own domain, the Nine Hells. However, I'd imagine if he knew who you were, what you are, it can go one of two ways. Either he sees you as a potential ally to be used in the future, or he sees you as family. And devils and family often don't go together.
No.
So, would you take the risk for the King of the Crossroads?
No, I think we've got enough on our plate.
And I guess he's no family at all.
Pats your shoulder once again.
Get some rest, Citra. Sure, all of us are gonna need it.
Me too. Thank you.
He just waves his hand, walking out through the room. As all of you find yourself once again reaching for the night, preparing for the battle of tomorrow. The blood moon will be coming. A new hunt will start. As the night goes on, the tensions deep within your chest begin to relax away for just a moment. As daybreak comes through from the north, you find yourself steeled. When the blood moon rises, you all move. With that, we're going to go ahead and end tonight's episode.
Woof.
Yeah.
Woof.
Lots of reveals here.
Yep.
And we got our we got so much stuff done.
Yeah.
So many answers. Alrighty.
Dragon's out of the bag, y'all.
Alrighty.
Baggin.
That being noted, so before we end tonight, we're gonna go ahead do some relatively quick announcements, and then we'll be heading off. So first things first, as I've already mentioned at the beginning of this episode, on the 16th we will be gone because of scheduling conflicts. That will probably be the day that we're filming again. I am still currently working on a bunch of videos. Right now, How to Be an Adventurer is back in production and currently being audio edited all the way through to the best of our editor's ability. So if you guys wish to help support the endeavor of production, the Patreon is always made available. It also supports the channel here. I have some intentions to wanting to do a donation stream relatively soon for D6 specifically, as I want to try and upgrade everything. Between lights, cameras, and also more miniatures, or rather dungeon tiles, hopefully for the near future. This, while being planned out, is currently trying to figure out where all of it's going to go, but I have certain goals that I want to try and meet at a point and see where that goes. So if you guys hear any recent or new announcements coming along, either on the Twitter or here on the VODs, I will let you guys know when that happens. And as I've always stated, whatever donations go into D6 always go back into D6. So this time I'm just looking to hopefully do a bigger thing.
Nice.
And yeah. And next up, I have been streaming Wednesdays and Fridays. I haven't been able to do Saturday because I've been spending time with my beloved on Saturdays. So I may try and find another day during the week to live stream. So I've been doing mostly Final Fantasy XIV, but doing a lot of EX raids and hopefully doing Savages very, very soon. So if you guys are interested, streams start at 3 and end around 6-ish, depending on the situation. And then, see, the new Final Fantasy XIV video will hopefully be coming out before I leave. I will be editing it, fervently, so that way it gets done, and then it will be scheduled for Patreon, and then it will be out for public a week afterwards, as per the usual. So if you guys are interested in watching any of the Final Fantasy stuff, then by all means. I think that's it for me. So with that, I'm gonna move to Blue.
Hello, it's Blue, or Blue Kazanate on Twitter. I don't really have much going on. I've just got a bunch of commissions to finish, but also working on the pieces for Dark Knight. That's going to be fun. I swear I'm getting to it. It's just been a lot of work going on lately. But other than that, more shit posts are planned as well for D6 art and other art for the future, depending how this goes. So we'll keep an eye out for that stuff too.
Yeah. Oh, also, I forgot to mention, we were planning to do a live streaming thing for D6 specifically.
Yes, I am. I am trying. So the concept is still being worked on, but the general idea is, it's basically just going to be a very long stream of doing D6 work. Sans spoilers. There will no be spoilers allowed. But basically just the idea of either talking D6, drawing out the characters, whether it be shitposting or certain scenes that you might want to see drawn out. Obviously all sketches, but to make it a little bit more interactive.
Yeah.
I'm still trying to figure out the kinks to that, so we'll get to that. But once we know we got it going, keep an eye out for that announcement as well.
Yeah. Brand new D6 show.
And just saying to the rest of y'all, if you want to join, since you're part of D6, I'm just saying.
Oh, yeah.
Alright, so I'll do some art too.
Yeah, if you want to do it live.
We were talking about it.
Yeah.
We were talking about it.
Alright. So, that noted, Connor, how you now?
Hey.
Connor, you muted.
It's me, Distortion Devil. You can find me on Twitch and YouTube.com/Distortion Devil. I stream Tuesdays, Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. Check out my DM's Guild, where I release 5th edition subclasses, including the Treasure Hunter Conclave for the Ranger that is in production. And it'll be out when it's out. when I'm not so busy.
Hey.
When are you not busy, sir?
Who isn't busy?
You have like a game every
Never.
single day.
I know that feeling all too well.
Alrighty. And so with that being said, next up is Jade.
Hey, it's Jade the Firefox, playing Dante. You're changing mode on D6. Sorry, what happened?
Your internet's going or your audio's going. One of the two.
Cutting
Sorry, I was
out.
trying to hack the system.
You're wiggling.
I was trying to hack his systems.
Damn.
I unsuccessful.
Got hacked yourself. A self-hack.
Anyways, hi, it's Jade the Firefox, who plays your changeling rogue paladin on D6. I am currently working on commissions for even more DJs, and now I have gained a new ability. Does anybody want to guess what that is?
3D modeling.
Hey, got it. 3D modeling. As you could tell, I 3D
Yay.
modeled that cube at the now waiting screen for D6. So if you're looking for anything as simple as that, I can do that for you for a price if you message me over at Twitter, Jade_Firefox at twitter.com.
Yeah.
That's the end of my little spiel.
Hey. And next up, last but not least, my good friend, Daito.
Yo, this is Daichi Mendachi, aka Bro the Half-Orc Samurai. So, I released a new episode of KWC on my channel. Hopefully the link to it will be in the description or wherever. I am streaming Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays. Mondays and Wednesdays is going to be purely Xenoblade Chronicles 3 for the time being.
Yay.
Then Saturday is going to be working on Gohan vs. BE, which is moving along. Hopefully by the end of this month, I'll finish Gohan Black's moveset and focus on Cell's moveset. And that's it for me.
Alrighty. Well then, that being said, all matters settled?
All matters settled.
I think so.
Alright. Well then, with that being said, thank you all so much for watching. Thank you all for sticking by and hanging out. You stay safe. We love you. And, as always, see you next Sunday.
See you next
Bye.
Sunday.
Later.
Bye. Have a good night, everyone. Be safe.